So there's a lot of family businesses here. There's a lot of small businesses. And so, they have dreams in those businesses. Every owner starts a business with a dream. And a lot of us, like, we get into our business and we just sort of stop, right? We get busy in the day to day and we forget that we need to do these things to actually get to that place where we wanted to get to. And so for me, it's sort of being that like Yoda or that like helpful guy that just helps people get to that place. And where I think Colombia is in this awesome place where it's growing, but it's not growing in a negative way. It's not blowing up and things are getting missed and the community's falling apart. It's growing in a very like together cultural, we're all kind of moving the town together kind of way. My name is Adam Silverman. I am the owner of a digital agency in Columbia, Williamsport, Tennessee, called Muletown Digital, and we basically help businesses grow online. I've been running this business now for just about a year and a half, actually. Started way back in the day as I was a musician for a long time. I was a professional musician. I toured and did session work, and during my music days, I also worked as a technician at a web hosting company. And so I learned all about server management and all that kind of stuff, which turned into learning web development, which turned into, getting deeper into SEO and web space. And now I just kind of do all of it with our team. My wife owns the farm that our office is located on. And so she runs her business out of here, and so do I. And so we lived in Franklin, Tennessee for a while together and decided to buy her family farm. And so when we did, our family just moved to Williamsport, is right outside of Columbia. So we just moved to the Columbia area, and then she's always been involved in this community. I've kind of felt like the new guy. And so it's been cool the last year or two to just really like get to know people in the community and see all that there is in Columbia, and it just feels like the world's coolest small town. So it's interesting because a lot of our clients, we'll be on a phone call or we'll be on a Zoom, and there'll be a horse whinnying, outside, and they can hear it, and they're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Well, that's our horses." And so it's interesting because I think there's been this push in America in general where people are starting to feel like maybe the rural life is the life for me, right? So there's like a lot of people that work in digital spaces like me that have kind of resorted their homes back out to maybe their roots, or they've just kind of left town a little bit and moved out into the country land. And so it's an interesting dynamic going from, web development and, web design and digital marketing, and then like ending up the end of my day on the tractor, like bush hogging the fields and things like that. So it's, for me, honestly, very refreshing because I go from the complex work that I do during the day into something that's more just mechanical and driving around. And, it's honestly been good for me to have both things in my life. Columbia just has that like very old town Southern feel to me. And I love that. So I really love the people here. There's a really cool, diverse group of people. There's like farm people, and then there's, urban people, and there's this big mix of all different types of people. And I've always loved that, like having just a diverse culture and for me, even just not growing up as a farmer and spending time with so many farmers, to me, that's diverse. To me, it's totally different. I'm not used to that necessarily. So it's been really neat just like seeing a whole different side of the world, like living in a rural area. You really see it's just different. It's slower. Everything's laid back. There's a lot more help. Like our neighbors are super helpful. If something, we need help with the tractor or something breaks, our neighbors are always over here helping us fix things. And it just feels like we're actually part of a community here, which is what I love about it. When COVID hit, most businesses, when something like a pandemic, which has been, a totally new thing for most businesses, for all of us really, but when something like that hits, most businesses' knee-jerk reaction is, they have to cut marketing and they have to slow down on what they're doing because they don't have the ability to produce like they were before. And so at first we experienced this drop off of like, wait, what's happening with businesses? And then immediately thereafter, I think everyone realized they were going to open back up. We were going to go back to the world, and everyone went, wait, like I don't really have a digital presence. So what do I do if I don't shake hands? What do I do if I can't sell my stuff in my store? How do I still run my business? And so our business just kind of went from, normal speed to like a little bit of a lull to we just got slammed with businesses saying, hey, we need to be competitive. We need to grow. And so for us, it's been kind of it's been a weird season. It's just been hard to navigate. But in a lot of ways, our business actually got stronger. We spent a lot of time working on our processes and working on things that we normally don't have time to do. So in some ways, it was beneficial to kind of take a little bit of a breather and spend time with the kids and look at the business a little bit differently than I normally would. And now it's just, we're working pretty hard. My goal in the mission of Muletown Digital has always been, we want all businesses to be able to be competitive in their space. So what I see is where businesses in Columbia move more towards the future, which is the digital space, right? I mean, we're never going to lose handshakes. We're never going to lose that in-person meeting. But the entire business world right now is run on the internet. It's run online. Google dictates how people find businesses. And so my dream for Columbia and what we're trying to do is just help businesses move forward in that, because it's overwhelming and scary and there are so many components, but we break it down and make it super easy for people to do that. So kind of the vision or the mission is to help them just grow into the digital space and then be able to grow their businesses to whatever level they want to. There's a lot of people have been struggling. And so I would say, one, it's a good time to sort of keep your chin up. Things will come back. We're having to change our way of life a little bit, but I do believe that human beings in general adapt very well. And so we'll adapt and we'll change and we will definitely press forward through this. And I also would say, take this time to really be thankful and feel the blessings that are around you, because it's so easy to get caught up in like what we've lost or things that have changed in a negative way, instead of looking at it like, well, I got to see a lot of my kids growing up for the last 5 months because I've been home, or I've gotten to, do more things on my farm, or I've gotten to, get on Zoom and talk to people that I hadn't talked to in 6 or 8 months, because I didn't have time. And I think just taking a pause and sort of counting your blessings and then looking at the positive things that have happened, like that's my probably biggest message. Just find the positive, focus on the positive, and then allow that to energize you to move forward the way you want to move.